Hands down, one of the least expected changes in the latest Landfall update for Generation Zero is the ability to literally go out to any forest in the game and start yanking trees out of the ground like you're some sort of Restore the Rainforest organization set in reverse. But beyond that, this is just the start of resource gathering getting insanely good here in Generation Zero, taking things that were just video gamey features like respawning resources and making the process of them repeatable in a much more immersive way. So today we're going to talk about how this could be expanded on and throw some ideas out there, just in the happen chance that the GZ team or any other potential developers need some ideas. And as with all of my idea vids, if this sparks an idea of yours or you have some ideas you'd like to throw out there, please post them in the comments down below. With the advent of more immersive lootables like the newly introduced accelerant from car engines and wood from gatherable trees, the team is planning on expanding on this even more as we go along. And I really dig this idea. It benefits exploration and casual gaming in Generation Zero so much to have these things that maybe give us something else to do in the game world outside of combat. So today I've thought up methods of obtaining every resource in the game, excluding explosive, because that stuff's so readily available I really don't think we need another source of it. Now, first off is an idea I actually raised in my accelerant farming video from a few days back, and that is gathering accelerant from gas station pumps. Basically transforming these benzo gas pumps into a new lootable in the game that would offer a small chunk of accelerant for each drop. With this new resource being tied to medkits, it's something I think we're going to need metric tons of, and adding a new purpose to benzos would be sick. Now we'd have the decision: blow up the gas station and destroy any possible machines near it, or try to safely destroy any machines near it and be able to farm a bit from the pumps. There are also some unique positions of benzo gas pumps too, so routing a good farming route would be fun and, again, really benefit the exploration side of things. Next up, probably the second most asked about resource here on my channel, uranium. We have two abandoned mines in Generation Zero, one at Anagruven and one at Alkstugan. In these mines are these piles of rubble, so my idea is to have these be lootable for a small chance of uranium and a high chance of tungsten or aluminum. Each loot would offer one or two of the three resources. Currently we only get uranium from base defense, but this way we'd have a method of obtaining uranium in the world in a way that isn't too easy to farm but still offers up a new chance of getting the resource. Maybe if we could see a new mine added to the game world. Personally to me, Urraval in the North Coast seems like it could be a good one, but really, I think there's so many spots that you could put new mines into mountainsides across the map. Either way, I think it would be a neat way of making mines in the game unique locations and more than just their aesthetic. Now this next idea of mine stems from more survival type elements as well as the hidden iron church over on Himfell. Having breakable rocks for the more basic types of metals that we get. So that would be steel, copper, and even though it's not how you'd normally get it, lead too. We'd find these breakable rocks that would be scattered around the map like how the new gatherable trees are. They'd maybe have a few different sizes for each, offering a related chunk of whatever resource. Bigger rocks with more health dropping more resources, and smaller rocks dropping less but requiring less time to break. Kinda like how the rocks over at the Iron Church works right now, as it's a rock with a health bar basically that once you beat makes the rock be destroyed, giving you access to the church down below. But instead, they would just reward us with the allotted resources. We could even have rare drops of tungsten and aluminum, but leaving uranium out of this, as this would be the more recurring farming we'd be doing, while the mines would serve purely for those higher end resources. Now, you might be wondering about the other common resources: textile, thread, rubber, and plastic. And for those, I think it would be nice to gather them from houses, actually. Houses in Generation 0 still generally serve as on-the-fly looting or mission locations, but this would be a change that could turn cities into reliable sources of these common resources in pretty large quantities, essentially giving us a new reason to go urban spelunking here in the game, and also being a kind of solid recompense for players that maybe don't like the culling of houses in order to improve Generation Zero's ongoing optimization. My idea is to have small, lootable closets placed in or around a few houses per city. Each would offer a little bit of textile, thread, rubber, or plastic, and would kind of reinvigorate houses' loot pool in a simple but efficient way, I think. A small idea of a way of guiding players to these closets is to have a spray-painted Resistance logo on them, like it's a spot where Resistance fighters drop off resources to share with other Resistance members. Pretty much meaning just you and your friends. And then, the last resource, the one we all know we're gonna need a lot of, which I'm gonna have a video on pretty soon, electrolyte. This one's kinda hard to give an in-game resource pickup, but the best method, I think, would be kitchens themselves. Sure, electrolyte isn't going to be in your kitchen in the friggin' raw or anything, but you get it from, like, calcium and stuff, and you could imagine people having, like, vitamin C tablets or something along that line. This would offer another small improvement to houses, allowing us to head to them and loot certain kitchens for a small amount of electrolyte or any of the other house-related resources. Which I know is a big proposition, going over houses and adding all these lootables, but I think in the long run it would be really nice for exploration to be able to seek these resources out in the way you would maybe logically think makes sense. So, there you go, dudes. Ideas for all the resources, excluding explosive. I tried to keep these all in the same energy as the newly introduced trees, thinking of exploration value and immersion at the kind of forefront here. But I want to know your dudes' ideas most of all. So again, if you've got any ideas at all, man, just let me have them. I love making these, like, melting pots of creativity here on my channel. It's one of the cooler things I think I get the opportunity to do here on YouTube with, like, polls and videos and stuff. But anyway, that's enough out of me here on resources till we tackle electrolyte probably early on next week, I'm thinking. So cheers, folks, thank you for being awesome, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.